This is the emergency.
Hi, I'm at the corner of Pleasant Hill and John Young Parkway. I'm in a Walgreens parking lot, and my car will not start. I'm walking beside my car.
Alright, welcome back to the first video on the Hacktastic channel. Today we're going to be looking at ADCS, so Active Directory Certificate Services, and what we're specifically going to be looking at is ESC1. Alright, this is a vulnerability that can be found utilizing Certify, Certify AD, whatever else, okay, once you have user credentials. As you can see, I already have Bloodhound started up, alright, and we'll go ahead and we'll kick this off. If we type in Certify AD, alright, and we go ahead and we go to find, okay, there's a couple different ways we can do this. We can do it std out, attack vulnerable, attack old Bloodhound. Now, old Bloodhound is if you're using the old version of Bloodhound, which is the version that you're still, it's like this, not the version that's on the web, right? That web interface one. So what we can do from here, okay, is we can go ahead and we can also, before we even run this, let's go ahead and check out this command, like right here, this certify, see what it can actually do. As we can see, we can manage user and machine accounts. We can authenticate, right, using our certificates, manage CA certificates, cert, find, forge certificates, golden certificates. We can pass a ticket, all right, relay NTLM relay, request certificates, abuse shadow credentials, and lastly, template. Now, each one of these also have a help menu. So if I were to do find, attack H for help, we can say that this also has a help menu in here. Okay, so oh, there's old Bloodhound actually right there. We just went through a whole thing a minute ago about uploading it to Bloodhound. Okay, so we have our std out, which is going to drop it for us to be able to see. We're going to save it, and we're only going to look at the vulnerable certificates in here. We already have a user and password on this domain controller that we that is part of this test stick right here. And we'll go ahead and we'll hit enter here. I would like this guy to do its thing. There we go. Okay. Now, the way that we're actually running this is if we utilize this practice ADCS domain escalation, okay, we can actually import this template PS1 file. Make sure you do like a git clone or whatever, or just download everything onto Windows, because you will need this vulnerable templates folder right there. But yep, you can throw that onto your Active Directory machine that you're practicing on and go ahead and run these. Right, so we do see that this is vulnerable to ESC1, and all the information that we're really going to need is right about here. Okay, but we do need one piece, pretty much this like right here, okay, but we do need one piece of information all the way up top. Usually you don't have this big vulnerable certificates in real life, but we also need a certificate subject. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do a certify attack AD, and we're going to exploit it, right? So let's go ahead and look at this again. Okay, we see that we have account, auth, CA, cert, find, forge, PTT, relay, request, shadow, and template. Right, so what we're going to do is we are going to now exploit this utilizing the request, and we are going to request a certificate. And what that's going to do is going to create an admin.pfx file. Okay, it's going to create a ticket for us, right, that we're going to be able to utilize. So what we can do from here is we can just type in our test user at banksec.local. That is already our password right here. Okay, we need the certificate name, which we have above. Right, that's going to be our attack C, like right there, which is going to be right up here. Okay, our certificate authority. Boom. Boom. Okay, our target, which we already know is going to be banksec.local. However, what it means for this target is to scroll all the way up, and we need that banksec.ca, our certificate subject like right here, banksec.ca.banksec.local. So we'll go ahead and throw that in. And then what template are you using, right? That again can be found up top. So we'll go ahead and we'll scroll up a little bit. We find our template up here, our template name, vol and ESC1. Who do we want to pretend that we are? Administrator. And then we can go ahead and get rid of this key size. That's if they're not using the regular 2048-bit key size, which you will get an error saying that the key size is incorrect, so you can use that 4096. Okay, as you can see, we now have this administrator.pfx file, And from here, what we can do is we can try to authenticate with that administrator.pfx file, thus allowing us to be able to drop the hash for that file, okay? So we can authenticate utilizing that file like right there, and we'll go ahead and we'll drop the hash. And then after this, we'll look at how to upload that into Bloodhound, that information, because as we show, we do have some, well, actually we have a bunch of stuff in here. Let's go ahead and remove all this. We'll go ahead and we'll run our first command again with our old Bloodhound, right? You'll see a .zip file in there. There's our .zip file, right? And now when we run our second command here, pretending to be the administrator, we can see that we have the administrator.pfx file like right here. And now lastly, we can go ahead and authenticate utilizing our pfx file, username administrator, our domain, right? That's going to be bakestack.local. And then lastly, with the IP address that we have for the domain controller, 192.168.0.5. All right, awesome. So now we have their hash, okay? So now we can utilize different things. Now this machine does have Windows, whatever it's called, their little antivirus crap on there, Windows Defender, there we go, on. So we could run commands on it, but getting like a reverse shell or whatever else through just, regular netexec or something could be a little more difficult. However, we can go ahead and use like a WMI exec, right, .py. And then from here, we go ahead and say that would be the domain. So that's the enter, I believe, is domain, username, and then password. So we can just go ahead and do that, /administrator, because they are part of the local, right, at 192.168.0.5, and we're going to say TAC hashes, put in our colon, and we'll go ahead and we'll throw that hash in that we just obtained. Right. Now I threw that colon in because I'm only going to use the NT side of the hash, not the LM side. So there we go. And we are now the administrator on the machine. And yep, yeah, we have everything enabled. We look pretty good, right? So everything's looking real good for us, right? We can then make a user, wherever we really want to do from there. So from here, let's go ahead and look at how to view that in Bloodhound, right? So as we saw, I do have that zip file now, and we did our old Bloodhound, remember? So we have that zip file now. Let's go ahead and upload that zip file. We can just upload data like you normally would. Go find your file, right? Certify.zip file, okay. You may also get a failure sometimes. Last time I got a failure, like one thing failed and the rest of it went good, okay. And once we have that, we go ahead and hop over to analysis. Now, I do not know if this domain escalation part, like right here, comes is actually loaded up in there. All right, that might be a separate video on how to actually upload JSON files into Bloodhound. And I do have that over on the Overgrown Carrot 1 channel. But I don't know if I have a video on how to actually, or I don't know if it comes with the newest version, I guess the old newest version of Bloodhound. But I will upload a video on how to actually upload JSON files into Bloodhound to be able to look at different things, such as misconfigured certificates for ESC1. So you can go ahead and click on that. That's what we just exploited, right? But we can see that sure enough, as soon as it decides to load, right? Maybe we'll head over. There we go. Oh, as soon as I click away, right? That's how it always works, right? All right, so we can see that ESC1. We do actually have some certificates here. If it decides to stop moving around so much, I can actually scroll up. There we go. ESC1, we do have that variable certificate like right there. And we can go ahead and see that that's there. So we know that we may be able to exploit that. And yeah, maybe able to get that administrator's hash like we just did. So hopefully you guys learned something. I hope you like the new channel. I'm Ryan. And yeah, also Overgrown Carrot 1. And yeah, whatever you guys want to see on here, pretty much anything but just going through boxes, let me know. And we'll go ahead and we'll try to make it work, all right? Y'all have a good one, and I'll talk to you all later.